Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Dodge. See your local Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Or go to Dodge.com and check out our powerful lineup. DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. And by Subaru. Looking for your next winter experience? You'll find it in a Subaru, the official vehicle of Winter Park Resort. Avalanche and Ottawa meeting for the second time this season tonight at Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado to get set for tonight's game. Interesting goaltending matchup for a couple of reasons, as we'll see tonight as we give you our Ford starting lineup. Peter, and tell us about this interesting matchup.
Well, two very good goaltenders, obviously. Craig Anderson, old Fred Craig Anderson, who's now, with the Ottawa Senators. Mike, and he had maybe one of the most memorable shutouts ever for the Avalanche against San Jose in the playoffs a couple of years ago. But at the other end, Semyon Varlamov. I mean,
what was Anderson's record that Varlamov broke?
Exactly.
On Sunday or Monday.
It's just we can't even read. I can't go any farther than I've gone with Semyon Varlamov's performance. It was just, it was perfect, and that was the only way to talk about that game for Semyon Varlamov.
Let's talk about the fact that for fans, don't go anywhere at the start of this game. The last two times they have to play, on the fourth against Columbus, 30 seconds into the game, the Avs got a goal from Jarome Iginla, and then the last game against Chicago on Tuesday night, the Avalanche scored just 53 seconds into the game. So last two times, Avs scored in the first minute of play. Ottawa, though, with the puck. Moving into the end zone, back in, save made by Varlamov. The puck kicks into the near side corner. Well, the Avs are coming off a nice win over the Chicago Blackhawks. 2-0 victory. The Ottawa Senators lost in a shootout to the Philadelphia Flyers in that game. A lot of shots, though, even though not a lot of goals were scored.
Yeah, 42, I believe the final number is 42-38. The shots on goal in that hockey game. So there's a lot of action. Just some good goaltending.
Dipped into the corner, race for the puck. Gets there first. Mike Hoffman. He's become a good story this year, this rookie with 13 goals. And a second in scoring in the NHL among all rookies. Behind the net, the puck is scooped up. Vanacek moves it up the wall. Avs get it back. Handled by Landeskog. Works his way back towards the point for the pass, and then the shot by Stewart is caught by Craig Anderson. He'll hold the puck for a faceoff. We take a look at the Coors Light cold, hard facts, and it's just so much fun to talk about what Varlamov did in Chicago.
It happened so fast for you and I that we weren't even aware of the records that were being broken by Semyon Varlamov as the game was going on. And because the Blackhawks were coming in waves, the Avalanche had such an important victory. He was cramping up at the end of the game, and it had so many storylines as that game came to a close.
They get it. The angle to get to the puck does so in the Colorado zone. Ottawa, second game of a 4-game road trip for them. They still have stops in Arizona and in Dallas. And speaking of Dallas, that'll be the next game for the Avalanche. They'll face the Stars on Saturday afternoon. And then the Avalanche go on a 5-game road trip that begins in Washington on Monday. Puck has gone out of play. We're about 2 minutes into our game. No score.
Well, Ottawa, one of the 4 teams in the National Hockey League that, changed goaltenders. Jay Cameron, now the coach of these Ottawa Senators, spent 3+ years as an assistant coach, and they started off pretty well this season. They were 9-5-4 after first 18 games, Mike, but then it sort of fell apart. 7-10-4 since that time, and it cost Paul McLean, who is just one of the best guys in hockey. Always great to be around, but it cost him his job in Ottawa.
Erik Karlsson coming back for the puck. Pulled it against the boards by McLeod. Karlsson get it back, and he is not shy about skating with the puck and creating some offense as a defenseman. Breyer got it back for Colorado. And you'll notice the Avalanche are wearing their 3rd jerseys, those blue ones. Well, they've had some success, though, this year. They're 4-1 when they've worn these jerseys. Stewart makes the pass for Nick Holden. Same lineup the Avalanche have had now for 5 consecutive games. Zach Redmond has been a healthy scratch now for 5 straight games for the Avalanche. Shot, looking for a tip, and the puck whistles wide of the net. Tanguay immediately transitions to offense, gives the puck to O'Reilly. Iginla shoots, save made by Anderson. And the puck comes across into the corner. Shot around by Kyle Turris. He's having a good season with 27 points, tied along with Carlson for the team lead in points. Shot, save made by Varlamov. And he covers after making that save on Turris.
Well, this line now has been together for the Avalanche for a while, for a few games. And the kind of play that O'Reilly just made, Mike, that's when you can start to feel he's getting the chemistry of the line. Iginla and Tanguay, we've talked a lot about that. But O'Reilly's little spin backhand pass went right to Iginla, who was wide open. And that's knowing a guy is going to be there.
And Iginla, Peter, as you know, has made a career out of going to the open spots, the right spots where he can score goals. And that's something he has done his entire NHL career. Puck wrestled great. Bobby Ryan, number 6 for the Ottawa Senators, certainly a guy to watch. He can give you that highlight reel goal. You never know when it's coming, but he can certainly do it. Steal on a pass made by Landeskog, and the Avs captain shoots the puck into the Ottawa zone. Comes back into the corner. Colorado still in possession. Played up the boards, back to the point for Eric Johnson. Backhands it across. Barry's pass, and that's intercepted. Slowly moving out to center ice. The puck is tipped in by the Senators. Whacked back out to center ice by Barry. Turning, McKinnon gives the puck to Johnson. Sends it across the zone. Tyson Barry rink wide, taken by Talbot. This line of Mitchell, McKinnon, and Talbot. Boy, were they effective against Chicago. They were the trio that were out there for both the goals that were scored by the Avalanche as a forward line. Carlson being hounded by Talbot. Puck pushed down towards center ice. Broken up by Colorado, but the puck is picked up. Jason moves in. Backhander saved by Varlamov. And he's got the puck and a face-off coming up in the Colorado zone.
Well, for the Avalanche, Mike, you know, it's been slow. It's been slow to get here. But I think for the Avalanche, to a man, they feel that, you know, okay, now we're starting to put together a real streak. It's been a dozen games now. 7 wins, Mike. 3 in shootouts. 1 in overtime, 3 in regulation. So, I mean, they fought for every one of those victories.
To the point. Held in by Cowan for Ottawa. Pushed along the backboards. Hand off out in front. Shot. Save again by Varlamov. Another shot, and it goes to the side of the net. Scrambled for the puck. It came free. Centered in front. The net had moved. And that's the reason for the whistle. Well, Ottawa, a little pressure around the Avalanche net. Varlamov had to be good. And then the net moving stopped the action.
And Ottawa arguing a little bit about how this net got pushed off. But just good hard work by Ottawa, who, Mike, you talked about it in the pregame show. They're sitting in almost the identical situation to the Avalanche. They've got their 40 points. And they're a little closer to the playoffs in the Eastern Conference than the Avalanche are, but every win is so important now.
They're 7th in the division, but then when you look at the wild card standings, they are 5th. The top 2 get in as wild cards, while the Avalanche are 6th in the list of wild card teams, with the top 2 in each conference getting into the playoffs. So a lot of similarity between these 2 teams in terms of their records. O'Reilly moves the puck along the boards. Tanguay will catch up to the puck for Colorado. Slices his way down the middle. Taken back by Turris for Ottawa. And the pass gets tipped and bumped out to center ice. Iginla takes it back for the Avalanche. Carlson trying to wrestle the puck away from him. Turris moves it across. And the pass comes behind the Sens net. We played 5.5 minutes in the first period. No score between Colorado and Ottawa. Mark Stone, pass up ice. Turris follows. He shoots, and a tip sends the puck out of play.
And here is that Eastern Conference, and the Avalanche, after the game against Dallas, played 4 times against Eastern opponents. But you can see right now where Ottawa sits 40. Boston, 46. Boston had a very impressive victory last night against Pittsburgh. But you see they're 6 points back, but you got a couple teams to crawl over. Toronto seems to be heading the wrong way. And Florida just hasn't played as many games as other teams have, but they're having a good season.
The team right behind Ottawa, Columbus, to me, is the team on the upsurge right now.
Oh, absolutely. We saw them in here.
And then they went to Dallas and beat the Stars.
To beat the Stars. They were in here the night after they played. We all know how tough those games are.
They ended up getting the victory against the Avalanche with a last-minute goal. From the point, shot through some traffic. That one glanced off of Varlamov. And already, Peter, here in this first period, while it's not quite the barrage that Chicago had, there's now 5 shots already by Ottawa. They're out shooting the Avalanche in this first period.
And there's been a lot of pressure down low by Ottawa.
Looked in by Landeskog. One-handed up the wall. Basil trying to move the puck to center. And it does squeeze out into the middle circle. Waved ahead by Landeskog. Right at the blue line. That's got it. McKinnon takes a hold of the puck. Trying to push his way in. Makes the pass to Talbot. Right back towards McKinnon. Jumped over his stick. The puck played up the wall. Pinch it in for the point. Barry keeps it alive in the Ottawa zone. McKinnon trying to center. Gives the puck to Mitchell. Worked it back around. Talbot, first one to the puck behind the Ottawa net. He gives to McKinnon. Good puck possession for Colorado on this shift. Banged off the boards. And to center ice once again. The Avs get possession. Mitchell gets hit. Puck flung back into the Colorado end. Gannon. Long pass ahead for Barry. Then on to McKinnon. And tipped in back behind the net. Pass. Out to center ice, race for the puck. First to it, Eric Johnson. Tipped in, Cleach moves it back in between the circles for Hayda. Quick pass from McLeod, and he yanks the puck down the ice, resulting in an icing call on Colorado. Let's look at tonight's winning combo, brought to you by Blackjack Pizza.
And cut down shots on goal. You're not trying to be cute or anything. It's just the Avalanche in 4 previous games had averaged 27 shots on goal against. That's a number that it's acceptable. Last game didn't work so well. And use your speed. The Avalanche, we saw last game, when they were skating and moving, and we've seen the last few games, that's when they're at their most effective.
This morning, Peter, Patrick Waugh was asked about those 54 shots, 92 shots towards the net. He said what his team is concerned about, shot by Johnson, stopped by Anderson, not those amount of shots, it's scoring opportunities. Yep. They felt they're okay with 10 to 15 good scoring opportunities. Chicago had 20. You'd like to see that cut down a little bit if you're the Avalanche. So far, no goals in our first period between the Sens and Avs.
Let's look at the Western Conference. Obviously, that's where the Avalanche live. 40 points right now. Tonight marks the halfway mark of the season. Game 41 for the Avalanche. And that magic number right now sits at 7. Winnipeg, Los Angeles. I mean, these are good clubs. And if you project forward, the magic number right now is 96. And that's what I think it's going to take for the Avs. It may be a little bit lower. Sometimes it falls back. But, you're going to have to be in around that number.
And Peter, the Avalanche really can start doing some scoreboard watching. You got Winnipeg is in Arizona. Then you got some Central Division games. You got Chicago at Minnesota, Dallas at Nashville, and also St. Louis is home against San Jose. But there's a couple of Central Division games. There's a shot and a goal. And the Avalanche have a 1-0 lead. Boy, he is heating up. And the Avalanche get the first goal of the night against Ottawa. And they talked about how Jarome Iginla can really start going at some point in the season, and we are seeing that happen right now for Jarome Iginla.
And for Iginla, this will be his 9th goal here in Colorado. He's done a great job. And Mike, we talked about it in the first shift, the chemistry that this line has. So these are those short passes that we've been talking about between Tanguay and Iginla. They work the puck so well. It's almost Sedin-like that we've talked about that. But you're also seeing O'Reilly in the mix to be in and around those passes. And they have had a really effective start to this game.
Here's the Jeep scoring summary on that first goal of the game. It comes at 8:20. 11th of the season for Iginla. Alex Tanguay, Ryan O'Reilly assisting in for Iginla. And Tanguay, Peter, you've got your leaders in points for the Avalanche this season, both with 26 now. And for Alex Tanguay, he's at 799 career points. Stopped by Anderson and covers the puck for a faceoff.
Let's go back to the goal again. You want to have some space. In today's game, it's all about give and go. And look at the little one pass there and one pass. That's such a key with Tanguay and Iginla. Mike, when Tanguay gets the puck, the defenseman turns his back to have a look at him. Just that's the moment that Tanguay passes the puck to Iginla. I've talked to Alex about that and just how he and Iginla work together, and that's one of those things. You're waiting for the defenseman to just turn his head a little bit and you throw it right by.
Shot through a screen, and the Avalanche lead the game 1-0 on Iginla's 11th goal of the season. Shot from the blue line by John Mitchell. Caught by Anderson. Face-off coming up in the Ottawa zone.
Yeah, it's been funny. There's a, when you watch Jarome Iginla, and it just seemed like was he ever going to start scoring? It was a tough start, and then all of a sudden, like he does every year, Mike. How many times were we in Calgary? They say, "Oh boy, he hasn't scored yet," and then all of a sudden you turn around and he'd have 7, 8 goals, and now, we're not at the halfway point, and he's just heating up, and that's his 11th.
As I said, tied for the team lead in points right now, along with Alex Tanguay. Varlamov, a little pressure, has to cover the puck for a face-off in the Colorado zone.
And again, for Iginla, when you watch him play, Mike, there's a physical side to his game that few players. I mean, you always talk about this. Those top 6 forwards that are physically intimidating, and Iginla's one of those guys. I mean, you've got. In years past, of course, there was the Cam Neelys and there was the Messiers. But Iginla has that little fear factor going for him. Guys, not everybody wants to fool around with Jarome Iginla. Trust me, even though he's been around for a while now.
Yeah, gives himself a little bit more room, doesn't it?
Oh, you bet. I'll stand over here. I'm not going to stand beside, not too close to Mr. Iginla.
When he gets a little bit of room, and we can see how quick his release is, that puck is in the back of the net, just that fast. As with a chance, tip in front, and the puck flying over the outstretched glove of Ryan O'Reilly. Then O'Reilly, Iginla, and Tanguay line out for the Avalanche. Tanguay chasing the puck. O'Reilly's headed the bench. Iginla's as well. Now Tanguay leaving. As the puck tipped ahead by Turris. Nicely played by Stewart for the Avalanche. Turris got it back. Run that by Stewart. Puck to the corner in the Colorado zone. Dropped at the half boards. Brad Stewart makes a pass. And it angles out towards center ice. Back it up. Cody Ceci. Moves the pass ahead for Bobby Ryan. Whipped it into the Av zone. Varlamov with the pass. Almost stolen away by Ryan for Ottawa. They have to get it back. And backhanded down the ice. No icing on the play, so this puck is live. And Ceci comes back for it. Takes a hit from Landeskog. Spins the puck around. Duchesne gives to Landeskog. Down the boards for Duchesne. 1-0 in favor of Colorado. Shots are now even at 6 apiece. Barry's pass stolen away. Carried up ice, pushed ahead. And Barry came back nicely and held up Milan Michalek. Benjamin Mark the thought. Knocked down behind the Avalanche net. The puck kicks free. Into the corner. Pass. Intercepted by Briere. Bounces back to the blue line. Kept in by Ottawa. Long shot. Juggled, but caught by Varlamov. The Avalanche had the lead as Landeskog's got a arm around Pajot's head. Jarome Iginla with the setup from Alex Tanguay has given the Avs the lead in the first period.
Welcome back to Pepsi Center. The Avalanche on top right now, 1-0. Jarome Iginla's 11th of the year. Look what I found. Just looking up in the stands, and here's old Eric Messier, played for the Avs from 96 to 03. Eric, what have you been doing and what's going on?
We're here for, I coach a team back home in Sorel. I've been coaching that team for the last 6 years. It's like a college team. The kids are between 17 to 19 years old. And so far they enjoyed their trip, and we're down here to play 2 games. We played last night at Colorado Springs, And on Saturday, we're going to play at Westminster. So it's really fun. It's especially to be back in Denver. It feels good and it's fun.
You know, it's funny. I asked you, do you recognize anybody on the team? Is there one guy out there you recognize?
Yeah, there's one guy, number 40. Yeah, that's the only guy that I play with and with the coach. But I mean, Alex, and he's still good. It's still good, especially with, you know, I feel old. I'm 41, and I don't think I can play that game anymore. I feel way too old, especially when I wake up in the morning, old and slow.
Well, if it means anything, you and Alex got the same haircut, and he's still playing good hockey. I'm sure you're playing great hockey. Eric, it's great to see you, and enjoy the game, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, guys, Eric Messier, I know you guys know him very, very well.
You know, Peter, he's a classic example of making the most out of what God gave. And he played defense. He played forward. He just did whatever he had to do to stay in the National Hockey League. And man, there he was for the Stanley Cup.
Absolutely. And you know, he was given an opportunity by Bob Hartley to make the club as a fourth line winger. When he first came up, it looked like, was he going to be a defenseman? And then it kind of didn't work. He turned himself into a terrific checking forward and did a lot of great things for the Avalanche, especially after Forsberg went down with his injury in the second series.
Stared in by Ottawa. Turris tapped the puck back to the boards, slammed around and out by Colorado. The arm is up. That means icing, and face-off coming back in the Av zone.
Well, Mike, you look at these two guys, and I'm hoping this game sort of heats up and these two guys start to put on a little bit of a show, because both of them play the game the same way. Now, Karlsson's had some tremendous success. He won the Norris Trophy, and Barry is just getting to that point in his career where he feels really comfortable just going, just absolutely going. But both of these guys will be up ice all night.
Bobby Ryan passed down the middle, backhanded wide, put out in front, and tipped into the corner. O'Reilly's got it. Off the boards, stays inside the zone. Sent across. Tipped back into the corner for Ryan. Handoff in the corner for Hoffman. Pass back to the point. Shot save made by Varlamov and no rebound. And Varlamov did that with a player's stick there. He had lost his stick.
And Stewart handed him his stick. Now, and Stewart cannot go over, in case you're wondering. A little bit of a bad line change for the Avalanche, but Varlamov is right there. You see the stick fly away. Like, one thing that you can't do if you're a defenseman, you can't grab the goaltender stick. Even if you've given the goalie your stick, you can't grab the goal stick and play with that. As much as some of these defensemen, that's
Wait a minute, help block some shots.
Exactly.
Karlsson flicks the puck. Back to the point, shot to a lot of bodies. Hit something in front and then ended up going wide. Kicked out to center ice. Carried in by Karlsson. He shoots and Varlamov makes the save. 6:23 to go in the first. 1-0 Colorado.
He makes himself available, doesn't he, Karlsson? You know, I mean,
he makes him. Yeah,
you would have thought that was the right winger. That was the right winger coming down the boards, and all of a sudden it's Karlsson. There was a little turnover at the blue line, and he just goes. And you know, one of the most underrated parts of his game is he's got a great shot. He has a terrific shot from the point.
Well, Varlamov has picked up where he left off against Chicago. 9 saves already in this game. Call it, has the puck for Ottawa, then counted by Barry. Played back to the point, shot, didn't get through, blocked by McKinnon. The thought to the point, slid across, the puck comes out to center ice. Reimer nailed it back in around the boards in the Colorado zone. Under 6 minutes left to go in our first period.
And look at the shots on goal now. You know, Ottawa's got 9, but they've slowed right down in the last part of this period.
Ottawa's had the last 3 shots as they ice the puck, face off back in the Ottawa zone. Luxury has an address. Cooney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. They're available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs. Marc-Andre Cliche has his line out. With Briere and McLeod on the wings. Puck comes back to the point. Nick Holden down the wall for Briere to McLeod. Leaned into by Jared Cowan of Ottawa, but McLeod shrugs that off. There's going to be a penalty on Ottawa. Varlamov's on his way to the bench. Alex Tanguay came out on the ice just as the whistle blew. And when we come back, the Avalanche with a 1-0 lead are going on the power play. What do you end, Joe Record? I just think of that slap shot. I'm sorry. Now I see the word owned. Off the drop, Ottawa with the puck, and it's pushed down the ice. And behind the net, handled by Varlamov. It's a power play chance for Colorado, their first opportunity of the game.
Number 2,
Jared Cowan, a hooking call at 14:39. The Avs score the power play. Lucky winner will get Avalanche tickets to an upcoming game, courtesy of American Lifestyle Furniture. Register at afwonline.com/altitude. Tyson Barrie pass blocked. The Avs of Ryan O'Reilly's got it. Faison takes him along the boards, staying with him, and then sends the puck deep around the wall in the Colorado zone. Carried up ice by Barrie. Seconds into the penalty. Stopped along the near side wall by Gidla. Clearing attempt, bounced off of Barrie out to center. Back to Tyson Barrie. Tosses the pass ahead for Landeskog. He'll take it back behind the net. Takes the handoff to Barrie. Heads out himself. Landeskog charging up the middle. Lifts the puck to the corner. Batted back behind the net by Talbot for Landeskog. McLeod in there as well. 35 seconds left to go in the power play. But Ottawa's got a 3-on-2 developing. Carlson leading the rush, cuts it over the line, waits, turns, shoots. And there was an example of what Peter just talked about. That was a sneaky shot that got through.
And again, jumping up into the play. He's become so much better defensive. We saw him early in his career in a game, and you and I thought that this kid is never going to make it, Roger, on the Norris Trophy. So
well, we can
pick him. Well, I tell you, we can pick him.
McKinnon flies in, pulls up, makes the pass into the corner for Mitchell. Penalty is over. Cowan's out of the box. No shots for the Avs during that power play. McKinnon backhands it around behind the net. Buck cuts off the puck, bounce to the head. The Avs keep it alive. Pitching down from the far point with Eric Johnson. Puck travels around to the near side half boards. Cowan. And it's sent down the ice into the Avs end. That'll be icing on Ottawa with 2:52 left. Avs holding a 1-0 lead over the Sens.
Well, the Avalanche have done very well in the series against the Ottawa Senators. You know, and I think the one thing they've done is score goals. You know, you see that number, and that's a big number. 17 of the 19 meetings, they've scored 3+ goals. But for the Avalanche, on that last power play, Mike, they did not get anything going. And you can't waste too many. We've seen around the league now. You don't get many power plays. The days of 5, 6, 7 power plays seemingly are gone.
The other night against Chicago, both teams only had 2 power play chances each the entire game. Icing called on Ottawa. To the face-off in the Sen zone.
And Mike, you wonder which way that goes. Does that make them more important because there's fewer and you have to take advantage of them? Or less important because there's just not that many of them and you're not going to have that many opportunities?
It depends on how well you do on them.
Yeah.
Ottawa right now, Peter, they're 0 for 25. There's a shot, score! Brad Stewart makes it 2-0. And if it was not tipped by an Avs player on the way in, that'll be Stewart's first Colorado Avalanche goal. And the Avs get a 2-0 lead.
Well, if the Avalanche did anything well the other night in Chicago, they had one of their best face-off nights of the entire season. They were a +18 in face-offs against the Blackhawks. And here, they just win it pure. And Stewart, sort of funny how things work. Johnson was out for the end of the power play. And Hayden and Stewart don't normally play together, but they're out there in this situation because Johnson was a little gassed on from being on the power play.
First goal as an Avalanche, number 17, Brad.
So he does get credit. Jan Hejda, Matt Duchene get the assist on our deep scoring summary.
At number 9.
It's 2-0 for Colorado. 2:20 left to go in the period. Duchene with the puck for the Avalanche. Spins to the corner. Flipped it behind him for Landeskog to take. Cross ice pass towards Stewart. Batted away out to center. Carried in by Hoffman. Waits, pushed against the boards, knocked down. The puck squirts out to center. There's going to be a penalty on the Avalanche. Delay call. There's the whistle. And with 1:53 left, a team that's 0 for the last 25 on the power play will get an opportunity.
Colorado penalty number 71, 2 minutes for holding.
Well, we were certainly watching to see how this Ottawa power play, you know, is engineered and who is that guy, and that you got to think it's going to be Karlsson. So for the Avalanche, you know, they pre-scout all of these teams. They know what the tendencies are. They go over the charts to see exactly what's going on. But fortunately for the Avalanche, Karlsson was on that last shift, so he does not start on the power play for Ottawa.
What a Rendulic in the penalty box, a holding call.
Time of the penalty, 18:07
18:07. Shot by Turns. He broke his stick, and he does not have a stick as he's trying to defend on O'Reilly, who shoots. Anderson makes the save and is forced to hold the puck for a face-off.
Well, O'Reilly and Tanguay have really combined to be a good pair for the Avalanche. The Avalanche with that fourth line of McLeod, Talbot, and Cleach. They kill a lot of penalties, but Patrick Roy's got great confidence in O'Reilly. One, because he's so good on faceoffs. He starts a lot of, you know, the penalty killing situation, because every faceoff, the penalty killing situation, starts off in your own zone. So you get O'Reilly out there, you win the draw, and then you get the puck down the ice.
Talbot, Cleach, Hejda, and Johnson, the 4 penalty killers currently out for Colorado. Erik Karlsson back on the ice for Ottawa. Threads the pass through for McArthur. Pushed to the blue line, just kept in at the line by Karlsson. Gets it back from Stone. His shot gets tipped by Talbot, and the puck sails up into the screen and out of play.
Well, for Brad Stewart, it was so frustrating. You look at, but now you start to look at what he can bring for the Avalanche. When he started the season, didn't have any points, but over the course of the last 8 games, 5 assists, the goal here tonight, the hits. The other night he had, just another big night playing physical against the Blackhawks.
Karlsson after the face-off makes the pass for Bobby Ryan.
Remaining in the period.
David Legwand leads the Sens in power play goals with 5. Karlsson held it, and then a steal made and a breakaway for Tanguay. Hounded from behind and never got a shot away. And the puck scooped up and brought out towards center ice by Ottawa. Pass comes ahead for Ryan. Skeets into the line. 30 seconds to go in the period. Ottawa on the power play. Avs lead 2-0. Karlsson pass across. Back to Karlsson. One-timer, and that's blocked. Pushed up the boards, taken back. Karlsson, quick pass, one-timer off the heel of a stick. Shaves on, back to the far boards. Pass across, shot off the side of the net. Centered out in front, blocked by Varlamov. 5 seconds to go in the period. Cleared out by the Avalanche, and that'll do it for the period. There will only be 8 seconds left in the power play for Ottawa when the second period begins.
Well, Tanguay will drift to his right to try and give himself some time. This is the Karlsson that can occasionally cough up the puck. He's going to drift to his right, but good job by Ottawa. They hustle back. It was funny to watch Ryan O'Reilly. He was trying to block a little bit, but you can't actually get in the way. But he was trying to shade towards the Senator players. But Mike, good period for the Avalanche. Get a couple of goals and take a nice lead into the second period.
Goals from Jerome McGinley at 8:20. He's 11th, and for Brad Stewart at 17:20. His first as an Avalanche, and it's 2-0 for Colorado. After the break is the Toyota Intermission Report. Avalanche with goals from Jarome Iginla and Brad Stewart in the first period. Take a 2-0 lead into the second. And when you see those goals, Peter, it's interesting just the traffic that's in front of the net nowadays in the National Hockey League. It's amazing any shots get through.
Yeah, this is the new age NHL. You know, when you're watching this, count the number of Avalanche players that are in the shooting lane. Now stop it, let it go. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Never mind the 2 Ottawa players. It's almost virtually impossible to get it through. But you do want to layer things up. Watch the Avalanche. Good net front presence here. Stewart's shot comes through. The Avalanche have layers all the way down. So if there's a tip in front of it, gets through. Even if the puck is blocked, they've got defensive support. That was a tremendous shot goal for the Avalanche, but it showed you exactly what you're supposed to do. When you win a faceoff, you layer the front of the net. You're one guy high, one guy middle, one guy down low. That gives you options offensively and defensively.
We're set to play the second period. Matt Duchene, Kyle Turris for the face-off, and it's the Avalanche who've got it. Erik Johnson weaving his way in, tipped away by Ottawa. Colorado starts the second period with a 2-0 lead. Long pass ahead, angles towards Varlamov. Threw that puck wide of the net. 11-7 shot advantage in the first period for Ottawa. McMartin for the Sens, had the puck momentarily, lost it. Rendulic backhands it up the boards, and the shot gets blocked at the point. Bounce back out to center. Then across by Weirtosh, and down the ice, and we got an offside pass called on the Ottawa Senators, bringing the face-off back in the Sen zone. Boy, animated Dave Cameron.
Yeah. Mike, you're down by 2, you know, and you've got a couple more games on this road trip. You want to get something going. They're 2-1-2 in their last 5 games. But they're in exactly the same position, and we talked about it, as the Avalanche. You can't waste any more time. You can't all of a sudden be 35 and then 30 games and you're still this far out.
Their problem, Peter, at least recently, has been they're not scoring.
On the road especially.
They kept off the scoreboard during the first period of tonight against the Avalanche. Varlamov was sharp, continuing right where things ended a couple of nights ago in Chicago, where he made 54 saves in a shutout victory. Senators with the puck. Bobby Ryan could not snake his way through. Stewart goes past at center, flag down. Senators have possession. And O'Reilly tipped the puck away. Hoffman flagged it down. Pass behind the net for Ryan. Hopped over a stick. And chased the puck. Centering pass for Hoffman. Trying to throw it out in front. Now free for Ryan to take. Chased by Stewart. Through the pass for Peugeot. Hand off to McCulloch. He shoots. Save made by Varlamov. Played off the glass and out. Cowan. Get back for Ottawa. Skeets over the line onside. He shoots and off of Varlamov, and the puck goes wide. Chased down by Eric Condra to the point. Bouncing puck. Finally corralled in the center zone. Shot in to lay offside for Ottawa. Allows Stewart to lift the puck high into the corner of the Ottawa zone. Mitchell goes after it for the Avalanche. Roll it behind the net. Talbot has it for Colorado. Centered for McKinnon. Slipped through. Back to the point for Tyson Barrie. Winds it around. Cut off behind the net by Talbot. Mitchell's been open in front. Pass gets deflected. Condra trying to clear. Did get the puck out to center, but the Avalanche have it. And it's Tyson Barrie. Quick pass up ice. Tipped by Talbot to the corner. He'll charge after the puck. Bounces behind the net for McKinnon to take. He scoops the puck. Stripped away from him. And bumped out to center by Condra. And then he gets hit hard by Gannon of the Avalanche. Allows the Colorado Avalanche to move the puck to center ice. Backhanded in by Mitchell. Carlson bats the puck away. Quick pass up ice. Carried through center by David Legwand. Looks for the trailer. Shot comes through the crease and wide. Back around. Handled by Legwand. Threw it across the rink for Carlson. Centering pass. Shot score by Ottawa. That goal by Mark Stone is 10th of the season, and Ottawa's just cut the Avs lead in half. But that was a lot of that Erik Karlsson getting involved, making things happen. It's funny how scrambling things get when you're defending. We've seen it with Tyson Barrie, Peter. Your defenseman gets involved, it gets a little scrambling.
Well, you're not supposed to be there. That's the thing. You're not expecting the defenseman to be down that low on a play like that. And when he is, you can see everyone's turning to say, whoa, what's going on? And all of a sudden, the Avalanche, Mike, on consecutive shifts here in this period, they made bad passes that led to turnovers and led to pressure for the Ottawa Senators, and eventually that pressure led to a goal. Now a nice 2-0 lead is back to a 1-goal game.
Erik Karlsson, David Legwand getting the assists on the goal. 10th of the year for Mark Stone.
From Karlsson.
A good rookie for this Ottawa Senators team. Goal coming at 3:03. Now a 2-1 hockey game. Johnson for the Avalanche. Avs defenseman deep in the zone. Weirkosh trying to take the puck away from him. Johnson just simply out-muscled and stayed with it. Back into the corner for Johnson. Behind the net, cut off by Karlsson. And a move up. He gets wrestled along the boards by Tanguay. And Turris makes the pass up the far side. O'Reilly stole it back in the slot for Johnson. He shoots. Yes, and a perfect screen in front of Craig Anderson, and then the hard shot for the point beats Anderson, and the Avs get their 2-goal lead right back.
That's huge, Mike. You said it. That is huge. But what a shift by Johnson. He was the player down low that got everything started, and then good forechecking by the Avalanche. They pressured the puck. O'Reilly makes a beautiful read on the play. Johnson let him know. I guarantee he was yelling his lungs out right here. Comes walking through the middle and fires it. I'm not sure that wasn't turned on his edge when he shot that puck, but again, it went right to the front of the net. Johnson could not find it. And again, Mike, that net front presence for the Avalanche comes up big.
Jerome McGinley was sharing the crease with Anderson. Avs up ahead now 3-1. There's that magic number that you talked about for the Avalanche. When you have Semyon Varlamov, when he's in that zone playing the way he's playing, you can get to 3 goals. It may not shut you out every night. That's a tough thing to ask a goaltender to do, but he'll give you that 1 goal against, 2 goals against quite a bit when he's playing like this. Get to 3 as an offense, Peter. That's pretty good shape.
And coaches around the league will tell you that when the first team to 3 wins so often in this league, because now the other team has to chase it, and that is a career high for Erik Johnson. Now that's his 11th goal. You see a lot. You know, in 2009, 2010, and 79 games, he had 10 last year. We all talked about the breakout year it was for Johnson last year. Well, he's breaking out this year.
He broke the breakout.
Broke the breakout.
Well, you see that list, Peter, and it gets better every year. He just keeps getting more and more goals each season. And now at 11, and this is just the halfway point of the season. Game 41 of an 82-game schedule. Sent over the line. Shot. Save made by Varlamov. McCulloch has the puck for Ottawa. Spun it around the boards. Condra plays the puck to the point. Shot. Save made by Varlamov. Open net chance. And it's stopped by Varlamov. Side of the net. Varlamov has a lot of traffic in front of him, and he was able to shrug that off and make the save. Shot around by Peugeot. Around the boards to the near side wing. Stretching. CC could not hold the puck in for Ottawa. Pass across for Cowan. Or checked by McKinnon. And CC's long pass. Peugeot gets it over the line. Banks back out to center. Legwand picks up the puck for the Senators. Puts it off the boards to himself. Cuts in. Centered in the slot. And it comes up the middle and down the ice. Weirkosh, long pass, picked up by Senators, caught coming in, shot, and that was Stone, who earlier this period scored a goal. He had another terrific opportunity. Tip it to center ice. Weirkosh will get to it for Ottawa. Breer on the forecheck for the Avalanche. Pass comes across. Center. Colin Greening stopped behind the net by Varlamov. Varlamov tangled back behind the net. The Avs had the puck. Turned over. Turns high in the slot. Shoots it around the boards. Stone waiting. Lets it go for MacArthur. Threw it back. Shot. Missed wide. Back around for Stone. Pass behind the net for MacArthur. Threw it off the back of the net. Then got hit by Johnson. That allows Tanguay trying to get out of the zone, but it's kept in. Shot tipped wide of the Avalanche net. Centered out in front off a skate. Again left for Colorado. Trying to get out of the zone. Ottawa keeps it alive. Turns cutting in. He shoots the save, but there'll be a penalty on the Avs. A lot of action here in the second period. It's 3-1 at Colorado.
In the first period, Andy Bernard was recognized by the Avalanche as the hero of the game. And what an emotional story this is. In 2008, Andy was serving in the British Army and became close friends with Sergeant Isaac Palomares right here in Loveland, Colorado, while serving in Afghanistan. Isaac is a huge Avalanche fan, and he gave Andy a Sakic jersey under one condition, that he would come to Colorado and they'd watch an Avalanche game together. Unfortunately, 1 month later, Isaac was killed in an IED attack. It's been a few years since his passing, but Andy is holding up his end of the bargain. He was here tonight attending his first Avalanche game in honor of his friend, Isaac Palomares. It was a really emotional time, and certainly one that the crowd and the Avalanche appreciated, Mike and Pete.
And Mike, there's a group called the Dog Nation, and last night they hosted a bubble hockey tournament at a local restaurant, and you know, everyone was there, and you got a chance to meet and talk with everyone. And what just a fun evening it was. But just to talk of his friend, you could tell how emotional, because he didn't know this was going to happen. He didn't know that he was going to be the hero of the night. But when he started to talk, he got so emotional. So I'm sure down there at that particular moment, it was something.
Ottawa's on the power play. They only called on Eric Johnson for hooking at 6:50. Ottawa's second power play opportunity here in this game. Carlson booms a shot, knocked out, backhander, set, rebound, another brilliant save by Varlamov. And the puck is slugged out by the Avalanche. Oh man, this Varlamov good, especially that second rebound.
Jason was the player that had the last shot. As he was skating off the ice, he looked over his left shoulder at Varlamov like,
here's a chance and another brilliant save. Back to the point for Weirkosh. Thrown across for Carlson. Cutting in and back behind him. Weirkosh pass for Kyle Turris. Down low, side of the net. Back towards Turris. Hands it off to the point. Weirkosh slides it across for Carlson. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Shot blocked. O'Reilly. Wouldn't clear. Kept in. Carlson from that right point. Behind the slot for Weirkosh. Shoots. Blocked in from the net. It's tipped to the wall. MacArthur slides it back to the point. Slid across for Turris to take. Cutting in. Down low. Bouncing puck. Stone. Threw it back towards Turris. This is the team 0 for the last 26 in the power play. Turris shoots. Blocked in front. Clearing attempt. Bounced off the player. Scramble for the puck. Comes back towards the blue line. MacArthur slides it across for Carlson. He winds. He shoots it across. Out of the box comes Johnson. He steals the puck away. It's a 2-on-1 for the Avalanche. Johnson shoots, and the save made by the goaltender. By the way, we haven't mentioned this, Peter. Ottawa's changed their goaltender. Robin Lehner now in for Craig Anderson.
And I believe it was the last TV timeout.
Yep.
We were watching the power play for the Ottawa Senators, and Mike, there's a power play now. What is it? What are they tonight? 0 for 2?
0 for 2, so now they're 0 for the last 27.
And they move the puck really well. I mean, when these things go dry, it's amazing around the NHL right now. As you look at Craig Anderson, who has now been yanked from this game. But power plays will have those ups and downs. And I mean, you look and you see just Carlson by himself should be able to score something in 27 power plays. Never mind Bobby Ryan and the other good players. They have Turris and all of that. It's just when they go dry, there's seemingly nothing you can do.
On with the puck coming in, pass down the slot, shot, and a penalty called on Tyson Barrie. A hooking penalty on Barrie. And Ottawa's going to go right back on the power play.
Well, credit Ottawa. I mean, you look at how this game is going. You can see how frustrating it is if you're the coaching staff for the Ottawa Senators. You're coming into a building, and it's a desperate game for both clubs. The Ottawa's out shooting the Avalanche 20-10 now, and You know, they've had some good chances, some really good looks on that last power play.
Well, they go to work again. This time it's Tyson Barrie in the penalty box. Ottawa did get 3 shots on that last power play opportunity. Carlson slides the puck across. Ryan shoots it wide. And Carlson's going to chase the puck back in. So Robin Leonard, and this is one big goaltender, Peter. He is just gigantic.
I mean, he's not just tall. He's 6'5", but he's about 230.
We replaced Anderson, who did not play well, at least in terms of stats. 3 goals, given up on just 9 shots, faced by Craig Anderson. So big Robin Leonard in. Ottawa on the power play. And Erik Karlsson carrying out the center. They have not scored the last 27 opportunities. 1:15 left in the Tyson Barrie penalty. Barrie for hooking at 9:13. The red line, dropped it behind him for Turris. Speeds to the line, makes the pass to MacArthur, broken up by Ginnon. Looking to dish the puck off. He's surrounded by Ottawa players, taking time off the clock. And he worked back towards the point, held in to Weirkosh, flipped it. Talbot though lost his stick. He used his glove and he bats it down the ice. What a play there by Max Talbot.
That's great.
35 seconds left in the Barrie penalty. And a bad pass. Leonard comes out and how did he get that? Then he lost it. Shot goes wide. I think it was tipped. That was one of those unbelievable things I've seen this year.
Leonard
That was crazy.
He just missed it, and it slid underneath him, but it seemed to catch a little part of his equipment. Or the other
I thought he got in his glove initially, and then he lost it. Wow, what a play that was. The puck is fired into the Ottawa bench. Out of play with 7 seconds left in the Barrie penalty.
Let's have a look as the puck comes back. It went right through the 5-hole, but when he fell back, he got his glove on it, and then Cleach can't quite get to it. But here's the play by Talbot. Talbot loses his stick. Now he knows he can't get his stick and get to the puck. He has to just make the big dive play. What a nice play by Max Talbot.
Just 7 seconds left in the Barrie penalty. Johnson lifts the puck to center ice. Offside, Colorado. Barrie's out of the penalty box. Ottawa, a lot of pressure, but the Avs still lead 3-1 in the second. All right, thanks very much, Todd. Well, Semyon Varlamov, Peter, he's been busy tonight. Just 1 goal has gotten by him in the 20 shots he faced, and after that Chicago game, when he made 54 saves, he just looks like he's still in the zone tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned Patrick Roy said when the guys that gets in the zone like this, you ride them. And I think for the Avalanche, the fact they have a day off, it is an afternoon game against Dallas. But, you know, the kind of thing where I don't see him not playing another game until possibly the back-to-back games, Washington first, then Carolina on the road trip.
All right, that's next Monday and Tuesday. Although it's not a long flight, not bad, going from Washington to Carolina. Way to round the boards and behind the net. Collins brings up the puck, threw it out in front. Top of the circle shot, and that's blocked. As he got it. Quick pass out to center ice for Duchesne. Picked off. Pushed ahead. As lead this game 3-1. Here goes the Landeskog. He shoots, and Leonard sends the puck wide. Into the slot. Followed up. Batted to the corner by Stewart. Chased to the corner. Duchesne. Dropped the puck in the corner. Rendelin. Threw the puck across. Stewart waiting. Earlier in this game. Scored his first goal as an Avalanche. Sent up off the boards to center ice. The Avs converge. They've got the puck. Handoff goes to Stewart. To the red line. Snapped around the boards. 7:20 left to go, second period. Talbot's pass behind the net for McKinnon. Reversing one more time. Throws the pass back to the point. And the shot bounces wide of the net, but Talbot's got it. This line keeping the puck alive in the Ottawa zone. Mitchell dishes off to McKinnon. Boy, a long shift in the Ottawa zone for this group. Pass across. And Talbot and Mitchell. Mitchell finds the puck. Back around behind the Ottawa net. Cowan banks it up. Did not get it out of the zone. Has to keep it in. Down low for McKinnon. He shoots, and Leonard makes the save. And he covers for a faceoff. But wow, what a long shift there, and a good one for the Avs. Let's look at it. Who is in the groove? Presented by Groove Subaru. We continue to talk about how good Semyon Varlamov is playing this year.
This is for all goalies in the NHL. The best goaltender as far as save percentage on the penalty kill is Semyon Varlamov by a mile. And he's had, I don't know how many more shots tonight on the penalty kill, Mike, but 963 killing penalties. That's incredible.
And another 4 shots, Peter, on the penalty kill situation. And he's stopped. 21-12 shot advantage goes to Ottawa, but the Avs are up 3-1. And off to Eric Johnson. Centered shot. Batted wide of the net. That was Hayda. Both defensemen were down below the faceoff dots. Johnson circling back behind the net. Last 2 shifts, the Ottawa Senators have been bottled up in their own zone. The Avs doing a great job of keeping the puck in the Senator zone. Hoffman turns out to center ice with the puck. Across the red line and drops the puck to the corner.
Eric Johnson, like a giant condor. He's just circling around the zone. The puck, no one can take it away from him. He's taking shots. He's getting cornered.
It's his defensive partner, Hayda, who just sweeps in. Hey, you can't have all the fun here tonight. Hayda wants to join in. Well, it looks like a good time. It's continued to spend a lot of time. Last 3 shifts in the Ottawa zone. Holden. Pass around behind the net for Duchesne. Push the puck in front. Centers move out to center. Turns. Pass for Clark MacArthur. Shoots it to the corner. Blocked in the corner by Turris. 5 minutes left to go in the period. Pass to the point. Slid across for Cowan. He shoots on goal. Saved by Varlamov. Rebound comes to the Avalanche. And out to center. Flipped across by Cowan. A quick pass directed in by the Sens. Varlamov will steer the puck to the side of the net. Holden makes a long pass to center ice for Danny Briere. Cuts in over the line. Circles again behind the center's net. Threw it back to the point for Tyson Barrie. He shoots. Kicked out by Leonard. And a pass up the boards. Flicked by Condra to center ice. Peugeot moves over the line. Dropped it behind him. Shot to the front. Save made by Varlamov. Puck gets in by the Senators. Played by Ceci to the corner. Condra trying to make a pass, but that's cut off by the Avalanche. Pushed out to center by Briere. The cross ice pass comes to Barrie. And the Avs defenseman gains the line. Sends the puck to the corner. 4 minutes left to go in the second period. Steal by Mitchell. Turns and sends the puck towards the net. Briere ends up within the corner. Mitchell for the Avalanche trying to free it up. Clock continues to tick. Getting close to 3.5 minutes left to go in this second period. Finally the puck comes free. And it's Mark Methot, former Columbus Blue Jacket player. Lifts the puck to the center ice. It'll roll into the Avalanche end. Hayda gets bumped. And the puck comes free. Greening back towards the point. Steal made. Just swept away by McKinnon because he was picking up speed as he was coming in. Mitchell steals it back for Colorado. Makes a pass across. Cleared out. Icing called on the Avs with 3:01 left to go in the second period. You can visit your Colorado Kia dealers today to discover Kia's full lineup of high-quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles. Visit ColoradoKiaDealers.com to learn more. Ottawa out shooting the Avs 12-7 in this period. Teams have exchanged goals. A came in a 53-second span early in this period. McKinnon cuts to the near side boards. His pass goes across. Bounce free. Carlson jumping up. Waits and plays the puck ahead. Holden for the Avalanche. Moves it up the wall for O'Reilly to take. Gets the pass through. McKinnon takes it to Tanguay. O'Reilly, backhander. Save made by Leonard. He looked behind him, but he had made the save. Tanguay spreads one across for Holden. He shoots wide. Bounces puck in the corner. Played up the wall. Ryan, handoff. Peugeot's got speed. Trying to cut in around. Ginla was coming back to help defensively. Pass comes to Cowan. Turns and shoots, and the puck bounces off a body, comes wide. Peugeot's pass goes back to far side point. Shot knocked down by Varlamov into the slot. O'Reilly makes a pass up ice for Ginla. Tanguay goes down the middle. His pass from Ginla is covered in the crease as it bounced towards the goaltender Robin Leonard. Avs lead the game 3-1 in the second period.
Mike, it's been a tough year for the hockey world. J.P. Parise, father of Zach Parise, passed away after a year battle with cancer. Mike, he was in my generation. He was a veteran. He was a captain of the Minnesota North Stars when I first broke into the league. Just a tremendous competitor. He had so many wonderful things that he did. The state of Minnesota, and I just know right now that the Parise family is going through the real tough time of losing their father and dad.
It really has been a season of hockey luminaries who have unfortunately passed away this season. Why Parise just loved, especially in Minnesota, working with a high school there, famous high school, grooming a lot of young players. Very sad day.
Nathan McKinnon was one of the players. It's a prep school in Minnesota, and he went to that prep school for a couple of years.
Behind the net, Turris for Ottawa. 1:20 left to go in the period to the point. Methot shoots it down the boards, picked off. Pass across. Rendulic went off the board. Stone got it back. Then a steal for the Avs. Then take it back. And then another turnover. This time to the Avalanche. Duchesne. Nice pass. Shot missed high by Landeskog. There's going to be a penalty on the Ottawa Senators. The Avs will get a power play opportunity late in the second period.
Well, again, Mike,
Ottawa penalty number 65, 2 minutes for slashing.
we've talked a lot about these types of moments in games. The Avalanche, you know, they got a huge goal to make it 3-1. You know, Ottawa made it 2-1, and we're coming. And the Avalanche, Johnson makes it 3-1. That changes the complexion. I think the Avalanche have done a nice job of the last 5 or 7 minutes. But now you can put it away. You can put this game away right here, right now.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Nice to Barry. Across one-timer saved by Leonard. Big rebound and pushed down to center ice. Peugeot gets the puck. He gets by. Condren shoots and a big save made by Varlamov. What a huge save there for the Avalanche.
Well, you know, as much as you could have put it away, you could have invited Ottawa right back into the game in this situation. And just good movement. They hustle up in the play, but as he's been the last while, Semyon Varlamov comes up with the answer on that shot.
It must look like to those guys there's nowhere to shoot that puck.
Yeah. See, I can't even possibly relate, and not being silly, because the size of the equipment, these guys are so much bigger in net than, you know, you come in, and if you don't have a natural scoring ability, the first thing you see is pads. That's the first thing you see.
Up behind the net by Leonard, snapped around the boards and out by Ottawa. Mary's got the angle. Avs are on the power play, but just 15 seconds to go in the period. Comes back for Briere. To the point for Barron. He shoots. Glanced off to Leonard. Up the boards. And it kicks free. Got the center ice. The lay offside. That's going to run out the clock. There'll still be no less than a minute to go in power play time in the third period. For the Avalanche, boy, that Johnson goal was big. That Varlamov save shorthanded was huge as well in the second period.
But the Avalanche, after Johnson's goal and the chased Anderson, they picked up their play. They had some good shifts late in that period.
And they still got power play time when the third period begins, and they've got a 2-goal lead. Stone and Johnson with the goals in the second period. Stay tuned for the Subaru intermission report. Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Pepsi, proud to be the official soft drink of the Colorado Avalanche. And by the Ford Explorer. It's time you did your exploring. Ford Explorer. Go further. Avalanche take a 3-1 lead to the third. Still about a minute left in their power play opportunity to take to the third period. But Peter, boy, you got to love defensemen jumping up into the play. As we take a look at our Lexus on the ice, we see two of the best in the National Hockey League playing right now.
And they were on display in the second period. Erik Johnson, I mean, just look at the comfort level he has breaking up his. The guy tried to lift the stick, and he was just too strong. He wouldn't let the man do it, and then here, he just keeps going. He drive it towards the net. Little pass comes back. And the Avalanche get another good scoring opportunity. And here's his goal. His 11th, as everyone's been saying, a new career high for Erik Johnson. But what a tremendous period. But Karlsson showed us some stuff, too, in that second period. He is nowhere near as big as Erik Johnson, but he is so smooth. So on one side, he's coming down the left side. Next side, he's coming down the right side. And watch a little peek of the head right there. That's the look. He had a little look to find out where the man was there and slid it out front. And Ottawa got their lone goal of the period. But both of those guys, tremendous second periods and lots of imagination. I love using that word for both of those guys.
You mentioned that the look that he used. What he did, he saw the play, but then he didn't give it away what he was going to do. Because if he kept looking that way, then everybody else is looking there, right?
Then you're following his eyes. He just looked over it, knew where he was going to put it, and that was it.
Chance, score! Jerome McGinley buries his second of the game. That's a power play goal. And the Avalanche get that big goal to make it 4-1 over Ottawa. What a night Jerome McGinley's having.
And again, what you love about this goal for the Avalanche is, one, they're moving the puck around so well. And just a perfect pass, again, by Alex Tanguay to Jerome McGinley. Just through the seam right there. Ginla wastes no time, pops it home. That's that killer instinct that good clubs have. You get the opportunity to make it a 3-1 game or 4-1 game now, and the Avalanche come up with a big goal.
That makes it 4-1 in favor of Colorado. Now they have scored, and you win with Subway. Visit your local Subway restaurant tomorrow for any regular 6-inch sub for $3 after 3. Alex Tanguay with his second assist of the night. And he's just keeping pace with the Ginla. This is a race right now for the top spot in the scoring lead for the Avalanche. And we see Nick Holden getting an assist as well. And the Ottawa Senators have just scored, Peter, to make it 4-2. So just when the Avalanche thought, all right, this one's done, the Ottawa Senators come back. They did the reverse of what the Avs did in the second period. After Ottawa scored in the second period, Avs scored within a minute of that goal, and here in the third, Ottawa reverses it.
Well, that's just a dead giveaway. Erik Johnson playing so well, but every once in a while, you make that mistake, and it just happens to go to the wrong guy at the wrong time. Ottawa gets that goal. It was, it looked like a simple play, and Johnson unfortunately just coughed it up.
Ottawa goal scored by number 6, Bobby Ryan. An unassisted
Bobby
goal
Ryan with the goal for Ottawa.
Seconds of the third period.
It's a 4-2 hockey game. Lots of time left early in the period. That one comes at 1:05. And Ryan with the goal, 12th of the season. Ottawa with the puck in the Colorado zone. MacArthur had it, lost it. Oh, checked away from McKinnon, but followed by Mitchell. Back towards McKinnon. Cowan steals the puck. Back behind him. And it comes to center for Turns. To the red line. Pass through the middle. Caught a skate. Turning back. Clark MacArthur with the puck for Ottawa. Chipped off the glass. Back into the Colorado end. 4-2 hockey game. Contra with the puck, makes the pass across. Tanguay takes his man off the puck. Puck comes out to center, banked off of O'Reilly towards the corner. Jerome McGinley, 2 goals tonight. As possession, pass in the slot, slipped all the way back to the point for Barry. To give to O'Reilly, the handoff to Tanguay. McGinley gets free in front of the net. The pass right to the stick of McGinley, but it's punched away down the ice. Back for it, Nate Gannon. Long pass through the middle, great pass. Shot by Briere. What a shot by Daniel Briere to make it 5-2. His 8th of the season. That was a rocket.
That's what in hockey now, Mike, the term is stretch pass. Just a perfect pass up the ice. And Briere wastes no time. He's looking up. He found his spot. And Mike, that's his 8th goal of the season for the Avalanche. And there was a time there, remember, Mike, he was a coach's decision. He was not in the lineup for the Avalanche when he was a healthy scratch. And he is now, Mike, putting up some numbers for the Avalanche.
In a stretch, Peter. Starting in late October, 7 consecutive games where he was a healthy scratch.
20 seconds of the third period.
But he just sent a bullet by Leonard. So, boy, the Avs have done a great job. They did it in the second period, did it now here in the third. When you got a sense that maybe Ottawa's clawing their way back, the Avalanche put their foot right on him. As we see Alex Tanguay, Peter, now with 800 career points. What a terrific milestone for a great player.
And we were obviously, it's kind of an interesting career for Alex. Twice he's been in Colorado, twice he was in Calgary, he was in Tampa Bay and Montreal, but of course here in Colorado is where he's had his big numbers.
Slammed out by the Avs to lead this game 5-2. Icing called on the Avalanche.
You know, ever since he joined the Avalanche, right? Remember, he was in 1998. He was a 12th pick taken that year. There was always the speculation the Avalanche were to bundle a bunch of draft picks to get those first-round picks, of which they had 4, so they could go after Lecavalier. And I bet you when all's said and done, we can look at both careers, Lecavalier and Tanguay, and the numbers won't be that far off.
And he's a good guy. He's closing in. He's getting close to 1,000 games in the National Hockey League for Alex Tanguay. Off the draw, shot by MacArthur. He gets blocked. Banked around and back behind the net. And we got a stop by Varlamov. And we'll have a face-off in the Colorado zone. Peter, by the way, that goal by Iginla, 23 seconds into the period, well, that broke his own mark that set the season to start a period. 30 seconds on Sunday against the Blue Jackets to start the game. So Jerome McGinley, a couple of goals in the first 30 seconds of a period in 2 games this week.
And for Jerome McGinley, that's now 572. 1 behind Mike Bossy. Mike Bossy is 20th in the history of the league in goals. McGinley's 1 back.
That is some serious goal-scoring company. Where fans are too young to know about Mike Bossy. He was a special goal scorer, wasn't he?
Beyond belief, he really was. He never missed. He would be in the scoring zone, and you look at the Bossy number 20, the players that some of the players that he's passed, Zadine, Joe Nieuwendyk, Madonna, again was passed this year. But you know, Mike Bossy was just he and Brian Trottier were a pair for 4 consecutive Stanley Cups for the New York Islanders, and they were incredible. And they were great in the playoffs. They weren't regular season phenomenons. Their numbers were ridiculous in the playoffs.
Pass out to center, hit a skate, banks in to the Ottawa zone, and off the board for McCauley. offside call on the Ottawa Senators. 15:51 to go. And for the Avalanche, well, at one point this was a 2-1 hockey game, but the Avs, every time Ottawa seemingly getting close or getting into the game, boy, they score a big goal.
And for Patrick Waugh's club, you know, you're talking about coming into tonight's game. What did you want? Well, you might as well see the top 3 clubs in the Central Division win. So the other clubs you're chasing the wild card don't. So San Jose lost tonight to St. Louis. Unfortunately, there was a 3-point game, Nashville and Dallas. Dallas did get a point in that game. So it's Chicago.
Next opponent.
Chicago beat Minnesota 4-2. So again, those top clubs are going to be awful tough to catch. So you want those clubs closer in the wild card to not have big nights.
Well, Peter, the Avalanche are able to hold on to this lead, and they look real good right now. That'll leapfrog them over Minnesota, right? And they'll be a point behind the Dallas Stars.
And then
setting up for a game on Saturday.
And Winnipeg is losing, Mike, so, you know, they would get to crawl within 5 at the halfway point of the season. Remember, this is game 41.
And there were too many games earlier this year, Peter, where the Avs would lose and the other teams in the division seemingly were winning. This is a nice night for the Avalanche where if the Avs hold this lead and then other teams are losing.
Absolutely. You know, because you look at it, the LA Kings are losing, or beating the New York Rangers 2-0 in a rematch of the Stanley Cup final last year. Arizona is up 3-0 on Winnipeg. You want Arizona to win that one.
Pass through the middle. Long shot by Stone. Varlamov saw it, makes the glove save.
Let's have a look at the Central Division and see what we're talking about as far as you look at Nashville. Nashville is now pulled into a tie with Anaheim as far as 58 points atop the Western Conference. Chicago wins again. Like those clubs are really playing well, and they're not coming back. They just aren't. St. Louis wins again. They're on a roll. They seem to have their little hiccup right before Christmas. That seems to be over. They clubbed San Jose twice in a row. In San Jose 7-2, and tonight 7-2 in St. Louis.
Shot to the front of the net gets tipped off the side. Carlson takes it in from the point. Rattles the puck around. 1.5 to go. Here on third period. Adds up 5-2. Pass to center ice. Banked in. Carlson took it back for Ottawa. Both teams changing up. And Carlson launches the puck down the ice. Angle towards Varlamov, pushed to the corner, McArthur. Then pushed to the corner, returns. Let it cut to the front of the net, poke checked away. Ottawa gets it back. McArthur pass to the point. Weirko's shot, that one hit Johnson, that hurt. Johnson struggling to get up to his skates. Puck behind the net. Kyle Turris moves it around for McArthur. Laid it back to the point. Carlson shoots, and that banked away off of Varlamov. Out to center. McGinley picks up the puck. Pass down the slot. Boucher misses wide. Weirkoch takes the puck off the backboards. Comes out to center for Condra. Trying to go around. Holden shoots wide. Rendulic pass gets tipped to center. Back in off the glass by Greiba for Ottawa. Holden trying to find the lane, makes the pass up ice. Rendulic skates by Cameron. He's in, he backhands, and the save made by Leonard. From behind the net, Boucher, center. Slipped away, back to center ice. Landeskog will get it. We just saw an example there of how Rendulic can skate.
And he's one of those guys.
Surprised the defender, didn't he?
He's got those long strides, so you're not sure how quick he's moving.
Backhanded in. Leonard will direct the puck to the corner. And Eric Greiba. Pass up ice. Joe, hand off to Cowan. He hands it off to Hoffman. Cuts in. And back to Cowan. Centering pass. Taken away by McKinnon. Sprints to center. Carlson defending. Takes him into the boards. And Hoffman pushes the puck around the boards to the near second wing. Pass by Ryan. Poke check nicely by Barrett. Pass to the side of the net. Ryan circles behind the Avs cage. Trying to flip a pass in front. Rolls to the side of the net. Banged around. The thought is pass cut off by Barry. Moved it up the slot, held in by Ottawa. Carlson from the point. Cross ice pass, shot save made by Varlamov. Back behind the net for Bobby Ryan. Protects the puck. Going to come out in front. He does, and whipped it through the crease. Carlson turns and shoots, and that one went off of Mitchell and wide. Kept in by Ottawa. To the corner for Ryan. Cut off by the Avs. John Mitchell. Puts the puck to center. Carlson will chase it down. Pass through the middle. Onside Ottawa. In the slot. Stone turns. Shoots the puck through the crease wide of the net. And out through center. Briere. Cuts to the corner. Sends the puck around with 11:10 left to go. In our third period, Avalanche lead by 3. Johnson moves the puck for Cleese. And it's flicked down the ice. McLeod will hustle. At the goaltender Leonard. Backhands it behind the net. Up ice for Stone. Long pass taken. MacArthur couldn't get a shot. Cut off by Holden. Pass picked off by Briere. Backhands it off the face of Kyle Turris. And he is head down, headed to the Ottawa bench. And in fact, I think he's going to the locker room.
Right down.
He's going to the Ottawa locker room. Indeed. Meanwhile, the puck to center. Weirkosh. Greiber gets the puck back. Shoots the puck into the Colorado zone. Whistle blown, icing call on Ottawa. Lucky fans upgraded from the Ram Trucks fan zone to lower bowl seats courtesy of Ram Trucks. Purchase tickets in section 362 for your chance to win and upgrade to the official truck of your Colorado Avalanche.
Always have had people say, well, he didn't seem to, he didn't hit it. Briere didn't really shoot the puck very hard. Let me tell you, that puck hits you in the face. I don't care if it's, it hurts no matter what.
It's not a soft puck.
No, it's not.
It's kind of
not a foam rubber ball out there or something.
Barry cuts off the dump in. Pass to center ice. Overskated momentarily by Gillen. Recovers. Puck to O'Reilly. Moves to the head. Puck slips by. Tanguay to the corner. Centering pass for Gillen from Tanguay. Got picked off. Carlson for Ottawa. Long dump into the corner. But Joe gets the puck. All the way back to the blue line. Makes a handoff. Defenseman Methot rims it around to the corner. Puck tipped to center ice. Chipped off the boards. Carlson kicks it back into his own zone. Zibanejad. Carlson. Pass. Tipped to the Avalanche blue line. Broken stick on Holden. Able to throw the puck back for Stewart. We've seen twice in this game, and the Avalanche have made nice hand.
Great hand passes. Talbot.
Yep, Talbot clearing the puck that time. Holden keeping it away from Ottawa. Can do that in your defensive zone. Carlson threads the pass through. Backhand the head by Legwand. And the puck in the Colorado end.
And Mike, these are the kind of shifts the Avalanche want to have. Controlled, 5 guys back, no one leaving the zone until the puck leaves the zone.
Pass comes out to center ice. Talbot to McKinnon. Rims it around. Hayter waiting at the half boards. Checked by Legwand. Puck taken away by the Senators. Stone. Cassiani shoots with it off the leg of Talbot. Into the slot. Still free in the Avalanche zone. Ceci shoots, and it gets tipped to the corner. Stone centered in front. Pushed to the top of the circle for Cody Ceci. The pass to the corner for Legwand. Jumped off his stick to the corner. Now less than 8 minutes to go in the game. As Colorado ices the puck. And there's the whistle. 5-2 Colorado. Up for the Avalanche coming up on Saturday afternoon. They'll face the Dallas Stars. If things work out, this could be a huge game for the Avalanche in terms of the standings. The matinee game, 1 o'clock face-off. We start things on altitude at 12:30. The only afternoon game of the year at Pepsi Center this season.
Like you've talked about it a lot, and it's exactly right. The idea that you want to keep crawling over teams, get closer. So you're that one club between yourself and that wild card spot.
Back from the point, over to Carlson. Sent across, and the puck is tipped over the glass and out of play. We'll return shortly to more third period play in Denver, with the Avalanche in control 5-2. Let's answer the Stevenson Automotive Did You Know question. We asked you which goaltender owns the NHL record for most saves in a regular season game. How many fans remember this name? Sam Lepresti back in 1941. 80 saves.
They ended up losing the game 3-2. The Chicago Blackhawks did to the Boston Bruins. But I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to play with Sam's son, Pete Lepresti, at Denver University. He was also a goaltender. He had a career in the National Hockey League.
Avalanche lead this one 5-2. 7:20 left to go in the game. The Avalanche trying to make this a 2-game winning streak. For the Avalanche, well, they got 2-0 win over the Blackhawks on Tuesday. Tonight they put up 5 goals. Ginla's got 2 of them. Stewart, Johnson, and Briere scored the other goals for the Avalanche.
Mike, it's been interesting for the Avalanche. We were looking around on the road. They're the 29th ranked club as far as scoring goals. They scored just 38 goals, non-shootout goals. At home, they came into tonight tied for 10th most.
Added at least another 5. 6.5 minutes to go in this one. Ryan Scott handling the puck, makes a pass for Holden. Redlich chasing the puck, tied up against the boards. Rolls free back to the point for Holden to take. Pass behind the net. Redlich. Reverse the puck back behind the net, intended for Duchesne. Wedged away from the puck, pushed back to the point. Holden shoots it wide, tipped to the corner. And lobbed out at the center ice by Ottawa. Colorado gets it back. Got a hit by Stewart. The puck gets tipped into the Ottawa bench and out of play. Back with more third period play. 5-2 Colorado.
Well, Mike, Jarome Iginla. You want to see how his season has, you break it down into 2 20-game segments. First 20 games of the season. As we look at his goals here tonight, Mike, first 20 games of the season, he had 2 goals. Now in the last 20 games, he's had 10 goals for the Avalanche. And he's now going to have 12, just, to see what he does at the halfway point of the season for the Colorado Avalanche.
If he can keep that going, score a goal every 2 games, Peter.
Yeah, it's the last 21. I apologize for one short, but he's basically doing that. I mean, you're looking at now a guy that will get to 30.
Pass back to the point. And Cody Ceci's shot blocked and then snapped wide of the net by Legwand. 5:15 to go with this one. The Avalanche right now firmly in control, leading by 3 goals. Ceci backhands it around. Scooped up back behind the net by Greening. Cowan pinching in for Ottawa. Turned around the boards. Talbot checked against the boards. And the puck finally comes free, and it's Mitchell. Skating the center by himself. Rest of the players changing for the Avalanche. So it's 1-on-3. Here come the players coming on the ice. Hayda goes back across. Shot goes wide by Mitchell. Back around toward the blue line. Held in by Hayda. And Kyle Turris hustles out to center ice, gets the puck back. Backhander save. Rebound there. Shot. And the save again by Varlamov. Kick to the corner. MacArthur. Shot by Carlson. And a body in front. Dave's all skates back behind the net. Still with the puck. Handoff. Pass back to the point from MacArthur. Thought. Move back around behind the net for Turris. Hayner slams him into the glass. Thought holds the puck in. Side of the net. Comes off the end board. Zaps got it. Banked into center by Johnson. Coming back O'Reilly. Handles the puck. Through the red line. Hammered around the board. Weirkosh makes a pass. Peugeot's pass blocked by Duchesne. We're down the last 3:20 of this game. Long pass through center. Little angle wide of Varlamov. Lets it go. Ottawa regains possession. Get close to the last 3 minutes of this game. Slam to the corner. Picked up by Landeskog. Turns, reverses the puck around, cut off. And Peugeot out to center. Lifted in, head high on Varlamov. He'll take in the glove and stop the action. 2:45 remaining in this game. Avs on their way with a 5-2 lead.
Mike, coming off of such a tough game, a physically tough game, demanding game against Chicago, you're always wondering, how's the guy going to respond? And you can see what Patrick Roy is talking about. He's a big, strong guy, Semyon Varlamov, and he's in such great shape that, you know, you give him a day or so to regroup, and he's right back at it. And he has been sharp, strong, and just on top of his game again for the Avalanche.
It was an off day yesterday for the Avalanche. Getting him ready for this one. Shot by Cowan. Little misdirection, but stopped by Varlamov. Well, the Avalanche did get a goal in the third. In fact, they got 2, and that, of course, means you're scoring with Subway. Go to your local Subway restaurant tomorrow. Get any regular 6-inch sub for just $3 after 3 o'clock. So the McNabs have got some late afternoon snacks tomorrow to look forward to.
It's okay, girls. You'll be eating.
Starving since the last third period goal. Thin as a pencil right now.
You should see them cheer in the third period.
Out to center ice. Puck carried through by Hoffman. 2:15 left to go in this game. Avalanche, well, for the first time this season, they're going to get above 500, Peter. This is the 3rd time this year they've gotten to 500, but they're finally going to get over 500 tonight with their 17th victory. And they'll get to 42 points after 41 games. The Avs will also go over 500 at home. They'll get their 10th win of the season at Pepsi Center. They get low, looking for that hat trick, but the shot missed and then bounced out of play.
Carlson chased over at Tanguay. Tanguay felt him coming across and just threw it back to Iginla. You see it right there? You saw it. He said, "Oh, you give me that one. I'll take it. I'll take the guy breaking down the wall." Nice play, nice pass.
So 1:41 left to go. O'Reilly taking the face-off. And it comes to Tanguay. Fed back towards Barry. To O'Reilly. Shoots it into the corner for Iginla. Couldn't get around Carlson. Skis to center. Threw a pass ahead for Stone. Puck goes to the corner. Stone on the end boards for Greening. Shot save made by Varlamov. And he had the puck. It squirts free, but the whistle had already blown to stop the action.
And you know, Mike, you can't get too far ahead of yourself. There's no question about it. But there are a lot of people around the league that had, to a certain degree, written the Avalanche off. and said that, you know, they're too far behind. They're 10, 12, 13 points out of a playoff spot. It's not going to happen. If they come back and do it, they'll have learned more about themselves this year than they did last year. Last year, it was just this magic carpet ride all the way through the regular season. No bumps, no nothing. It was just, they had one 3-game losing streak, 3 games in a row in regulation. But that was it. And this year, it's been up, back. And now, you know, as we mentioned, you get this one, you got Dallas coming in, you know.
That's the biggest game of the year so far for the Avalanche. Coming Saturday.
Because you can start leapfrogging the team. You're going to be, you know.
You're going to go past Minnesota tonight.
Yep.
Now you got a chance to go past Dallas.
1 minute remaining in the period.
You know, it is a whole change of scenery for the Avalanche.
By Turse, we're in the final minute. Shot wide of the net. Peter, following that game against Dallas, which will be the biggest of the season for the Avs at this point, you're going on a 5-game road trip, and it starts with a back-to-back set. Washington, it's a team that's gotten much better since the last time the Avs saw them. Carolina's not had a good season at all, but through the second half of back-to-back.
Second half back-to-back, and then you go to Florida. Florida, you know, they haven't played as many games as other clubs. They came in tonight.
Here's a chance. Pajot shoots, and another terrific save made by Varlamov.
Well, right to the bitter end, he's going to be facing shots. Yeah, but just getting back to that road
So you're
trip.
talking about then Florida.
Then Florida.
After Washington and Carolina.
Yeah, and Florida is that club that's right in behind the pack and has played 3 less games than most of the clubs that had 3. That's 6 possible points. So they're playing pretty good. And then you got the number 1 in the East, Tampa Bay. And can they score? And can they put up some numbers? So it is going to be a...
And then you finish with St. Louis.
And then you finish with St. Louis, who now suddenly, they've got that big line. Backus had 4 goals the other night. Oshie is maybe the hottest player in hockey right now with the way that he's been playing. So, you know, it is not going to be a simple trip.
Well, Varlamov, 88 saves in the last 90 shots that he has faced. And time has run out. The Avalanche, an impressive win. Varlamov, 35 saves. They just added another one, making 36 saves tonight for Varlamov. 36 saves. Jarome Iginla with 2 goals, and Alex Tanguay now with 800 career points. Lots to talk about tonight.
Well, there's storylines everywhere. I thought that, you know, just in watching Ryan O'Reilly. Remember for O'Reilly, like he spent all of last year, every single game on left wing. And it looked like that's where he was going to play. Now he's been shifted back to center. He's moved back in with that line. And that line tonight, they were good almost every shift they had. And so now, you know, you get a little of that scoring going, you get some momentum going. Johnson had another goal. Barry, a great pass. Stewart got his first goal. Like, he's been back for 11 games. Stewart, they're 7-3-1 since he's returned. And sometimes, Mike, there's those guys that just solidify things.
Well, the penalty killing, when he's in there on the penalty killing,
it's just better.
Yep, it sure is.
Because he does a great job on it. And now the Avalanche again. It's a good feeling. They'll be having a good feeling as they finish the first half of this season.
41 games done, and the Avalanche with 17 wins.